Hello, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be talking about bullying and my story, my experience with being bullied throughout all of high school, a little bit of junior high. So let's get straight into it. Honestly, it has affected me till this day. I am now 22 years old. I've been out of junior high and high school for a very long time. It's affected me mentally terribly, terribly bad. If you know who I am in real life, I did a very good job hiding that the fact that I was being bullied because I didn't want to seem not cool, or I didn't want you guys to see me being picked on or knew I was being picked on. And the only people that knew I was getting bullied were my parents. And I obviously hid it from them for a very long time until they noticed I would come home with bruises on my arm. And before I get started, the reason why I'm telling you guys is even if you pick on somebody for what they're wearing or a little comment can affect them years later. In junior high, if my sister's watching this video and she's hearing this segment right now, I actually wore an outfit to school. It was a t-shirt, just a regular ordinary t-shirt. I think it was from like Zoomies or something. And I had these pants I got from the thrift store. I think my dad got from the thrift store. They were like baggy cargo pants, like super baggy cargo pants. It was like a windbreaker material and they were like parachute pants, you know? First thing I heard walking into campus at 6 something or 7 in the morning. Damn, bro, you got them trash bags on. Like, damn, bro, you got the trash. Like, people I wouldn't know, they're like, damn, bro, your trash bags look nice. Trash bags, trash bags, trash bags. You can call me sensitive, but obviously, I don't know how old are you in junior high, like 13, 14? That affected me really bad. And throughout, since I got into school, the second period, they're like, damn, bro, why are you wearing trash bags? Trash bags? Like, look at this trash bags. And then you hear somebody across the street, hey, Cam, show them your trash bags you got on. And I kind of just put my head down like, damn, like, that shit low-key bothers me because I thought I had a really cool outfit on, but everybody's making fun of me, like genuinely making fun of me. I don't think I made it to second period out of 7 periods. I think I made it to the beginning of second period, maybe third. And I texted my mom. I'm like, hey, can you please bring me a new pair of pants, or can you just come pick me up? I don't want to be here anymore. And I went to the office, or my sister actually came to pick me up and said, hey, like, he has a doctor's appointment, or he has an appointment he has to go to. But in reality, I wanted to break down and just not be there anymore because I was so overwhelmed. I just hated, like, my day was ruined. I just was not going to focus. My sister got me, I think she got me ice cream, or she took me out to go eat because she felt really bad. And I told her what happened, and she's a sweetheart. She made me feel better and was pretty much just saying what an older sister would say to their little brother if they were getting bullied. And then I can go on, but we'll fast forward just so I can get to the point. Fast forward to high school, that's when I would start getting verbally and then physically bullied. It wasn't fun. That's where I just was super stressed all the time. I'm not going to say any names just because I don't feel comfortable saying names and I know that they harmed me, but the last thing I want to do is ruin anybody's day saying names. I will say it was in culinary class. There's 2 guys in that class. One was a senior. I believe I was a freshman or early on sophomore year. And I was in culinary. I guess he thought it was funny. People would laugh when he would sock the shit out of my arm. Full on. This guy was he was on the football team. So just imagine, you know the dog, the fucking pit bull from Tom and Jerry? That big ass fucking pit bull or whatever, boxer dog? He literally looked like that. He would literally just fully, like, I'm like kneading dough or something, and he would just go, hey, Cam, boom, and just full on, like, to the point where, like, my arm is dead. And I'm like, oh, like, I'd laugh it off, like, huh, like, bro, like, stop doing that, bro, like, fuck you, bro. And then he'd be like, what are you gonna do about it, huh? Do something then. And I'm like, nah, bro, just stop. And then every time I'd be like, nah, bro, stop. He'd be like, well, so what are you going to do then? Huh? And that happened every period. And it sucked because that was a period I really enjoyed because I actually didn't have to learn anything. It was pretty much just cooking. Then the other guy saw that he was able to do that to me. He would punch me in the arm. And then I guess they were homies. They were both on the football team. He started hitting me. He started coming up to me while I was doing my work, and he'd like flick me in the head or like push my book off the table, like straight up out of a cartoon. I would just laugh it off. I'd be like, huh, like I don't want to seem like a bitch, you know, like back then you don't want to seem like a bitch and let people know it affects you, so you'd kind of just giggle it off or be like, man, fuck you, bro, like get out of here. But deep down, I was just like so angry, so upset, and super emotional. It would happen continuously, week after week after week. And it came to a point where I had my shirt off here at home. I think I came out of the shower and I'm not even kidding, just like throughout all the side of my arm, from like the top of my shoulder to the bottom, was just purple. Not even kidding. Like, if you know me, if you genuinely don't believe me, ask my mom, ask my dad, and they're like, are you okay? Like, what's going on? I'm like, okay, like, what am I gonna say? Like, I fell. You don't get that from falling, So that's when they realize, like, are you being bullied? And I'm like, yeah, I am. And that's when I was scared to stand up for myself, because at the moment this guy's a big ass fucking foot. They're both big ass fucking football players. If I try to do something, I'm getting my ass beat. Like, you're gonna say like, well, I would have socked him back. Enough. Well, like, I could have socked him back, but that would have been like a little flick to him if I socked him back. Like, I'm not doing shit. That's when I reported it. Nothing. Literally, if you report bullying in high school, at least where I went, they didn't give a fuck. They just told the person, gave him a note, and it'd go onward. If you continue doing it, if you tell me again, I'm gonna beat your ass type shit. Like, it was bad. So it got to a point where it just kept happening. Verbal in the hallways. They DM me, just being annoying and just terrible. And it got to the point where I was at my breaking point. I would come home super upset. I wouldn't talk. I would be super sad. I would have my head down at home. I'd come home with bruises. I was super insecure about my body because people would make fun of me. And you would go to school Monday through Friday. So my whole week, my whole month, every day of my life was miserable. And I did not want to be at school because, one, I hated school, and two, I was getting bullied at school. So it's like a double whammy. And it came to a point where I'm like, fuck this. I talked to my parents. We're like, we should just consider homeschooling. So that's why I decided to go homeschooling. I think I told other people, like, oh, like, my parents have work somewhere else and I gotta go. Or I don't have time to come to school. I don't have a transportation. I was just made up some bullshit, because if I tell people, hey, I'm going to homeschool, they're gonna be like, what? And this is before COVID, so everybody's like, homeschool? What the hell? Like, abcmouse.com. But I would just lie to people, I was at peace finally. I was like, wow, I can actually enjoy doing my work. I can actually finish my work. I'm not stressed every day I wake up. I don't have to be nervous. And my happiness levels just went up. That trauma, that negativity, that insecurity about my body, that fear of other people was still with me. Just because I went homeschooling didn't go to the past. It's still there, It's still there and very alive. And yes, I was happier, but I was still insecure because people would make fun. I was a very big guy. I was that type of person where I was so insecure about my body, I wouldn't take my shirt off at the pools. It would be 90 degrees outside, maybe even 100 sometimes, and I'm wearing baggy pants and like 2-3 layers of hoodies on and a shirt and a beanie. I have videos of that where I'm like, what the hell? And I tell people, I just don't want to get sunburnt. Motherfucker, no, I just don't want you to see my body. Every time I'd go out in public and I'd see like a group of guys that were fit, or like I said, they're on the football team and they look cool and big and they're walking with their crew, that I'd be terrified. I'd be like, oh shit, I'd just kind of like look down to the side like this, or I'd kind of keep my head down. Or every time I was in a group setting with my boys and I meet some new people that are like much bigger than me and they look cooler. That was another thing in school. There was like the cool kid group. So if my homies or other people would talk to like the cool people, those are the people that would make fun of me, but they weren't aware of it. So I'd kind of just keep my head down while they were dapping each other up. It affected me for years on out, and I don't think anybody realizes that unless they've experienced it themselves, Not anymore, but I recently stopped suffering from my insecurities about my weight, about the fear of random people. I kind of just blank out sometimes, but as time went by, I started learning, I started reading, and I started bettering myself. I'm starting to work out more, so I'm not insecure about my weight. I started reading more, so I became smarter, able to control my thoughts, so I'm not anxious anymore. And I learned to stand up for myself. I'm a bigger guy now, so if somebody does try to pick on me, I'm 6'2" and a big guy. I can hold my weight, I'm not afraid of that, but it does still affect you later on, because when you're in a relationship or when you're with your family and they try complimenting you on like your body, you won't believe them. You have like body dysmorphia, I think is what they call it, and it doesn't help when people make fun of you most of your life. Then it makes it even harder when you can't even believe it yourself, and let alone other people telling you look good. You're not believing that. I built a fake person so people would stop bullying me. Like, okay, like they bully me because I'm like this. What if I lie and I tell them I like hockey? Because hockey is what the cool people back in high school and junior high were really liking. The popular kids love skating. I can care less about skating, but I'm going to dress like a skater and say I like skating, So I built this fake person that everybody thinks I like all these things, but in reality, I'm just trying to fit in, But when it comes down to it, I'm miserable inside because I don't know what they're talking about. I don't know what they're doing, but I'm just saying that so I can fit in. And that affected me, and I carried those traits on to today's life. I built a lot of walls. I was walking on eggshells for so long, and all those traits, all those walls, all those eggshells, all that fear carried on till my 20s. It's terrible. And the only way I fixed it was working on myself. And we'll cut it right there because that's pretty much it. I worked out. I started building discipline. I'm losing weight, so I'm confident in myself. And that itself is another one, being confident. I'm now confident. I'm being honest with people. If I like something, I tell them I like something. And if I don't like something, I'm not afraid that they're going to do something to me if I don't like it back or agree with them. So now I learned to say no, and I don't lie. I came close to God, and I came close to myself, and I finally found the solution to break myself free from those negative thoughts, from that little shell I was living in fear. I know there's different cases of bullying. There's a lot of cases that are much worse. There are a lot of cases that are much less. But at the end of the day, bullying is bullying, and it is never acceptable. That's pretty much it. You don't know what anybody's going through, so be the positive in their life. Be friends with people. If you see somebody getting picked on, stop it. I appreciate you guys. I love you. Have a good night.